be honest with you. I look like a fool if I do the poem. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Okay.
I'm not doing the poem.
Right.
It's cool. I just don't want to do it. Stay with him.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbook. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Hey, we're going to talk to you guys about Love Goals episode 6. We're going to be talking about Althea and Benzino. We're going to really focus on that homing in, and we're going to talk about that. So, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for the notifications of the uploads, baby. And those of you you ain't got the mineral. That notes off. You ain't got the You ain't got the minerals. Yeah, so, yeah, I really think it's interesting between Althea and Benzino. I really do feel like with these two, Benzino is at fault today. Yeah, and I'm going to say this because he does something where he rushes past all the stock point checks and doesn't take time. Now, we got introduced to Althea in the last episode where she spoke about the fact that Benzino isn't doing the exercises that are necessary for them to. Yeah? So how is it we fast forward to now and you're in the bedroom talking to Althea about going to Bali and all these things and you haven't done the exercises? Now there are many things that are at play here. Okay, there are many things that are at play. So the very first thing that we know about Benzino and Althea is that when this whole thing, when it starts, we can see the Benzino's at the it comes in the room and then he sits down on the bed. Now, when I talk about proximity, when it comes to relationships, there are proximity parameters that we have, right? The closer someone gets to you, the more intimate that becomes, and also as well, it normally indicates how comfortable you are with that individual person.
I think you're gonna really be pleased with this.
Oh, really?
You're really gonna be pleased with this. Make it
right. So what we see here with Benzino and Althea is that with Benzino, he closes the space, sits on the bed, and then makes it a very personal conversation. Yeah, and what he's gonna say is gonna be very emotive. He says, "Look, you know what? I think you're gonna really be. I think you're gonna be really, really happy about what I've done. Yeah, it's from the heart. You understand? It's real stuff, right? Now, listen to the words he said. I think it's gonna be from. I think you're gonna really, really like this. This poem is specifically for her. This poem is specifically for her and nobody else. He wants this to be for her, right? And in doing so, it's a message to her to say how much he cares for her, right? She, on the other hand, did not write a poem directly towards him. It was about her emotions, which is not a problem because they didn't tell us to write specifically about your partner. They said to write, about your particular truth, right? So he's chosen to write about the fact that he cares for this girl. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie to you, his one was dope, right? So we saw that. Then he gets up to leave. And then he comes back and stands at the edge of the bed, again, keeping it at a proximity level, stands at the edge of the bed, and then says, listen, look, you know what, with a really excited tone and voice, you know what, I've been really looking at Bali, I've been looking at Bali.
Been looking all day at the Bali things, you know what I'm saying? Like how much it's gonna cost to fly and all that, the whole trips and everything. All right. Now, did you want to bring Zeno?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah?
And then he asks a question, which I call it a lead-in question, which is you're asking a question to get a particular answer, to find out where they stand at that moment, all right? Because you want a particular answer from it, so that you can, feel some happiness and some clarity of where you stand. So he asks a question, which is, do you want Zeno to come along, right? And she goes, yes, she wants Zeno to come along, right? And as the course of the conversation is going on, when he asked that question, it was specific because he wanted to see if it was going to be done to. It's about the fact that you want to kind of find your feet with her, innit? You want to make sure that, okay, if she says it's just us two, then it means we're progressing somewhere. So before this even happened, earlier on when he was talking to the guy that does the poetry stuff, he mentioned that he's not sure how Althea is. He feels like she's kind of playing him. He feels like she sends mixed signals.
There's a lot of confusion with me, because sometimes I get mixed messages.
All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow. Give me a hug and kiss.
Like, okay, is she sending mixed signals or are you ignoring the signals? Because what we see from Benzino here is a blatant disregard for her feelings, yeah. And I say that because he started to make a very in conversation we have like 4 Ds. I mean the 5 Ds basically, yeah, which is basically is to dictate, is to debate, is to discuss, is to deliberate, and is also to have dialogue. When you're in dictate mode, you do not care about the other person's feelings. When you're in debate mode, you're having a back and forth with a third party involved. When you're discussing things, it's an open conversation, right? When it's a deliberation, it's a joint decision. Now, in this particular case, it went from Bali, I'm looking at it for both of us, to from a joint discussion into this is what I want, right?
No, I'm booking it. There's no thanks for trying nothing. I'm booking that. I'm booking 3, me, you, and Zeno. I have to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm trying to plan it and do everything.
I want you to come along with me to this trip. I want you to be this trip. In fact, you're gonna be this trip, right? So when he's mentioned about the ballet thing, and she said, listen, and you know what? Althea does so well in this particular interchange. Look, you know, some people may say that she messed around, played around. Look, she was so nice in this particular thing. She was smiling the whole way, and I believe she was smiling because she wanted to make sure that she didn't hurt his feelings, yeah? Not only because she wasn't smiling in his face at that time, right? I know that she did a little bit towards the end, but she wasn't smiling in his face at this time, right? And I think the smile is based on the fact that she's almost a little bit shocked, like, where's this all coming from, like, kind of thing. And not only that, how come all of a sudden you're changing your tone all of a sudden, like, do you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden you've got excited about something, it's like, yo, relax, slow the frick down. That's what she says. She says to him, slow down. Slow down. I just want to get to know you.
Benzino, you have to slow down.
Slow down what?
Benzino has, you know, a problem with wanting.
So, I just thought I know. So yeah, so we see that obviously that she sits, and as she's sitting in the bed, you know what, all I could think of was this little girl. The way she was sitting in the bed was like a 15-year-old girl who's fresh to a relationship, got like her boyfriend in the bedroom where she shouldn't have the boyfriend in the bedroom. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the way she was sitting like. And so when she said, obviously, Benzino, slow down. Like, she told Benzino, slow down. Because, bro, you're rushing. You're running ahead. And this is running ahead that is from a basis point of the fact that you had a discussion. We had a bit of a good time. We had a good time on the wall. You know, we got some things out of the last conversation. We had a little bit of a tiff and taff, and yet you're running ahead again. And I do understand some of Benzino's frustration, because I think there was a cutscene where, when he was saying obviously confusion, there was a cutscene where she came into his bedroom, she was wearing like underwear and then a local nightie, and then she hugged him and said, look, let's hug before we leave, da 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 da. Now, I don't particularly think she's trying to play him. What I do think is that she needs to see change consistently. Your change can't be one day. I'm sorry. We need to see change consistently. And I think that's her argument.
We don't ever let any wounds heal. So I don't think it's a healthy situation to go away with him and we haven't solved anything.
You know? So in regard to, obviously, yes, Benzino may come and want to love her, but I'm not seeing this consistent behavior. I'm seeing it 1 day, 2 days, stop. 1 day, 2 days, stop. And even your reaction towards the very end shows that maybe this is not the right thing to do. You know, your reaction is showing somebody who is trying to be controlling. So obviously when she said, obviously, slow down, you know, I'm not in that space at that moment. You know, slow down, because, you know, I'm not in that space at the moment. He then was about to leave again, so he turns around again, and then he comes back, and then he goes, do you know what? No, you know what? I'm booking it. I'm booking it. No, I'm booking it. We have to do. I have to put the work in. And it's like, bro, look, the work that you should be putting in is in the wrong area. You see, sometimes people get given very simple instructions, yeah, very simple instructions, and then they deviate from the instructions. I do it all the time. When you ask me to bake a cake, I see the instructions, 400 grams, I put 350. I don't know why, I decided to do it, because I think I know better, yeah? Even though I don't know better. Now here's the instructions. Benzino, you need to do the exercises, and we need to make sure we're working on a relationship without having to do this flying to Bali. Why are we flying to Bali when we have not sorted out our relationship? Why are we running out to Bali when we are not on a good page just yet? Yes, we can get on, but we're not at that stage just yet. And so when you see that, you're confused as to... I understand Althea's confusion. We have not done the work. Where are you going? Why are you rushing to go there? And again, it's like he's getting swept up in the emotion of things and refusing to do the groundwork of emotions. Now, we're not going to go nowhere if you're not going to do the groundwork. And Althea said it as well. Like, how does he expect to like go forward when the stuff hasn't been sorted out? It's dangerous to do that, as she says. It is dangerous to do that because you've not fixed the wounds. When you've got wounds, yeah, and you don't heal the wounds, under pressure in a relationship, those wounds will cause you to act out oddly. Yeah, and she will end up having the brunt of it. Yeah, that's why you can say in the car, I've never said to a girl safely, listen, no matter how much the girls hurt me, I've never said to a girl, go and die. You know, I don't care if you die. Oh, is that the thing that we're doing? Is that what we're doing? That's not what I've been doing. I have never had to do that. No, and listen, you know, I've been hurt before. So I don't understand why you're going to that point. That lets me know that you've got wounds. You've got some deep lying wounds which you've not dealt with. And then, obviously, once he says, obviously, look, well, you know, when he says, obviously, look, I'm booking it. This is what I'm talking about, the declarative statement, the dictative statement, which cares for no emotions. Like, at that point, you then said, okay, look, no, I'm booking it now. That there's no room for a negotiation anymore. This is what we're doing. And unfortunately, he doesn't hold that position nor that power in the relationship anymore.
And nothing, I'm booking that. I'm booking 3, me, you, and Zeno. I have to put in the work, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm trying to plan it and do everything right, you know what I'm saying, to make you happy.
Those kind of statements might have been cute in the past, they might have been sexy in the past, but you don't have that relationship standard, the person to command that anymore. So it's no longer cute. Now it becomes controlling, you understand? And then obviously, you know, when she says, obviously, I'm not in that space no more, I think she even drops her head. When she's still smiling and she drops her head. And, you know, she states, obviously, look, you know what? I'm not in that space no more. And then he goes, oh, and he throws his hand down like, oh, like you're almost like, you know, he's frustrated by what she's saying, and like, do you know what I mean? And then obviously he then begins to discuss. The issue around this new guy or whatever, because obviously she mentioned that, look, I'm not in that space no more. And then he mentioned about what the guy that you're talking about or whatever, and he obviously said, obviously you've been talking to that guy for one day. What do you think you want to kind of like talk to him or get with him more than me or whatever? And I was like, Benzino, see that comparison right there's got you in trouble. Why are you comparing yourself to this new guy? Like this, whoever this new guy is, why are you comparing yourself? No reason to. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do that, what happens is you're causing her to choose, but there's no choice. As far as she's concerned, she's single.
I'm gonna keep it 100.
Okay.
I'm not doing the point.
Right.
It's cool. I just don't want to do it. Stay with him, and I hope you're happy with him. I hope this decision.
You're being very controlling, is what.
And you need to be single. So let her be single. You understand? Like, stop forcing the narrative and then making her feel bad about the fact that she was talking to somebody. But she done already told you she was talking to someone. That's why you got vexed last time. And then you're saying, obviously, it's Pete because, obviously, you know, she's here with you. But, yeah, bro, the whole point was that you said originally, look, Zeno, you're missing the point, right? You said in the beginning, the original reason why you lot are here is not for you, it's for Z, it's for your son. So, if it's for your son, you know, then you must know that, then you can't force adding the bonus of Althea along with that. You are trying to repair a relationship so that you can be parents for your son. And now you've switched it to being about you and Althea. That's not what it was about. That wasn't the promise. That wasn't the premise. So why are we doing that? Do you know what I mean? So for me, when I see that, I'm like, Benzino, stop that. You know what I mean? And then, so what happens then is that he then, you know, I think he comes to sit on the bed a second time, and then he goes back out again, and then he's like, you know, if you're talking to this guy, and this is where emotional manipulation starts to come in. He's standing at the far end of the wall, so keeping a bit of distance between himself and Althea. And Althea actually then even retreats back, and she starts to lay back in her bed. And I know she's probably thinking to herself, I just can't bother to deal with this guy, and starts laughing at him. And then he says, obviously, look, you know, if you want to be with this guy, then whatever. And I was like, this is where the emotional abuse comes in. This is where emotional manipulation comes in. Listen, bro. And I'm like, Benzino, relax. Let it go. Like, if she wants to be this guy or wants to talk to this guy, there's nothing you can do. Like she said, she owes you nothing. And I think this sometimes when men have control in relationships, yeah, and I'm not meaning saying it's controlling, but when men have control in a relationship, what they can tend to do is almost force you into a space where there's no room for you to maneuver, especially when you got. But he did the exact same thing. It's like you force the woman to be in your at your will, and it's like, bro, like she can move, you can move, but you're kind of forcing her to stay where she is. Why should she stay where she is? And you know, he started, you know, almost like throwing like a little tantrum, and you know, he's dropping his head and saying obviously what he's saying. I mean, if you just look at the video, you'll see it.
Be controlling is
It's
what I
not controlling.
think.
Look at what you just told me. You met one person, you said one day, and it feels good that you want to just talk to him. That's either you're lying about it because you've known him longer.
And it's like, Benzino, that's not what it is. And then obviously to kind of top it off, he then says obviously, well, you know, I've written this poem, it was about you, I feel stupid doing it, all of this kind of stuff he starts throwing out there because he's not getting his way. And it's like, bro, why did you run ahead? Have you discussed this with her? No. So why are you running ahead? Why are you running ahead? Why are you running ahead? You've assumed and run with it, and now the assumption is making an ass of you. Why did you run ahead? That's the problem. The problem isn't Althea. The problem is that you ran ahead and you didn't get confirmation before you did it. You know, the Bible talks about David in the Bible where he was saying, listen, Lord, can I pursue? Will I overtake them? The Lord says, yes, you will pursue and you will overtake them. Boom, he can now run. But Benzino's done it without asking anything, any questions relevant to that situation. And then obviously then we get the point where they go to obviously do the actual poetry. And I think it's quite interesting because when he comes to sit down, he looks pissed, yeah?
And after she kind of like was cold to me, I didn't even know. And I was like, come on, you could do this.
And before you know it, the shades are on. Now the shades come on because he doesn't want to see her face, doesn't want her to see his eyes. He's hurt, he's emotional about the situation. But then, you know, in between cutscenes, I think they started cracking jokes and laughing again. So I don't know what was happening, but they were obviously conversating as normal again. And then I think there's another cutscene where he moves in closer to get towards her. So he closes the proximity towards her. And even when he was doing his poetry as well, she actually was very moved to tears by it. And I'm sure this girl is like, I'm sure this girl is feeling it, is feeling a tornness. Like, I think she wants to be able to test new waters, but the pull of the fact that it's your baby father, do you know what I mean? And I think the thing here is for Benzino just to give her the space, let her do what she's doing, let her do what she needs to do, let her go where she needs to go, because you didn't come on the show for you and her, you came on the show for you and her for the son. Do you understand? So anything that she's doing, that's up to her. Do you get me? So yeah, I mean, when I saw that, I was like, okay, Zeno, you need to chill. Like, this is becoming emotional manipulation. Relax. Do you get me? Relax. Freaking relax. You get me? So yeah, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for the notification of the uploads, and we'll get back in contact with you. Appreciate you, mate. Alright? Remember, think before you do. Don't do before you think. Otherwise, you'll be thinking about what you just did. You understand? Appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. You ain't got the minerals, baby.